right here on Trace FM, Fast with the Hit. Of course, British Council, all about empowering, making sure that they get into that whole creative space, network, and, what I love about the British Council is this, right? Before we even get into the fashion conversation that we're about to get into. Last week, we had the man Calligraph Jones who was here, and he did mention the British Council event that we used to all attend back in the day. It was called WAPI. You see them get into that. That was rap. It was music. And now I'm joined by three very, very, very fashionable people, all very good gentlemen. I don't know where the ladies are at, but we shall endeavor to bring the ladies as well. So I've got Bavin Oguk. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
You're well?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Then I've got Mr. Kaseka Ian. That's how you said you wanted the name said. Kaseka Ian.
Yeah.
All right, let me adjust your microphone just a bit. Joan, come kindly. Just move the microphone towards you. Kidogo tu hapo. Tuko sawa sasa. And of course, we've also got Mr. Junior Orena. He runs the Nairobi Apparel District. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, bro.
You guys are all good?
All good. Yeah.
I'm glad to have you guys in studio because here's the thing, right? You guys represent something I always wanted to do.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
okay.
Right. So I told you guys I was going to tell you guys on air, right? So many years ago, at the very tender age of 18, I was quite a fashionable kid, fashionable student. And at that particular point, I really did not know what I wanted to do in life, right? Radio was something that we probably would get into. But I actually went to art school. And when I went to art school, the one thing that I actually went in to major into was actually fashion design.
Wow.
I would later drop out after 3 months. Now, the one thing that was actually very hard for me getting into fashion school was I'd understood it from, cloth, this, what, put two and two together. But week one was literally, you're told to come in with all of these HB pencils,
Yes,
right?
yes.
How you're going to shade, how you're going to what. I'm like, boss, what is this? I just thought we're supposed to get into it and, design clothes and all of that. But so, guys, as we get into it, right, besides the point, tell me about the Creative DNA 2.0, since that you guys are in this.
Well, the Creative DNA 2.0 is an initiative by the British Council, British Council Kenya, and they're running it through Fashion Scout, which is based in London, and Fafa Kenya, which is based in Kenya, obviously.
Yes.
And we have a cohort of 20 amazing designers, super talented in the program. It's about a 3-month training that ends with a pop-up that's going to be at the Village Market from 30th of this month till end of April. And we learn everything from, like you said, it's beyond sketching. So it's the business side of things. It's how do we plan? How do we, what is it? What is it like in the Kenyan market in terms of fashion, in terms of consumption? How do we involve government? How do we ship? How do we handle returns? So it's basically the whole fashion life cycle. And I like to look at it as they're giving us value in terms of the whole fashion value chain. Fashion value chain. Yes.
Now, for people who don't understand fashion value chain, right? Let me throw this out to you, Junior. What would you describe to someone like umepata mtu kwa barabara, umemwambia fashion chain? What would you break it down to him as?
Well, in a simple way is from making the product. Okay. From it's simple as making the brand, your brand name.
Yes.
To to defining what your brand is.
Yes.
Then again is to now how you're going to create the product, design, create the product, market it, and now to the end, sell it to the end consumer.
End consumer.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. And one of the things that stood out for me was the fact that they've gone out, of course, the British Council have gone out and sourced for 20 creators, guys in the fashion industry and all of that. Ian, how did they approach you? I want to get into this journey. When you got that call or that email or, had you applied for it or how did they go about it?
So for me, what happened was I was just at home minding my own business.
As you should.
Yeah, designing something, a jacket at that time. And a friend actually DM'd me and told me, I've seen this there's something here going on about the creative DNA. So have a look. And I went on the link, had a look, and there was a way where they said you have to apply.
Yes.
Yeah. So I applied. They asked for the details about your brand.
And what it's all about.
Yeah, what's all about.
Yes.
Like a short history about it, how it is, how it's going. Then they shortlisted us depending on our diversity.
Yes.
Our business culture and maybe creativity from the Instagram pages they saw and all that.
Yes.
So that's how I got to.
How you got in.
Yeah.
How you got in.
That's how I got in.
But tell me, so what are some of the business skills that you've learned so far from being one of the 20 individuals who were actually picked?
So I think the major one that I learned and that I'm sure I'm going to apply is they taught me how to price and cost my goods.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Tell
From
me about
like
that.
The raw materials you're gonna get, the transportation you're gonna use,
Yes.
the labor you're gonna use, how to include all that, how to also include the creative aspect of it.
Yeah, I was about to ask you how you're about to minus yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
they even shared a system on how to calculate that. So there's a part which I really liked.
Yes.
Because I can add my creativity or my patterning
Yes.
in there and calculate how to
go around it.
Yeah, and how to eventually learn how to your business, if it's making a profit or a loss,
Yes.
how to change your pricing to obviously be profitable because it's a business. Yeah.
When you look at the P&L, it has to. It has to make sense.
And mostly because as a creative, we never actually know that aspect of the mathematics and the calculations and all that.
Yes.
We're all about creating.
Yes.
So at least now I have an idea of how to reduce the costs for me as a business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now-
Not only on the creative side.
Not only on the creative side. Thank you very much for that. Now, Junior, which one for you has been a skill that you've learned and you're definitely going to apply?
I can say everything I've learned has been vital. But as Ian said about pricing and costing, But for me personally, as a brand,
Yes.
is brand storytelling.
Very important.
And my markups too. Yeah, and also the sense of building the community. Yeah, so I feel like people in the creative area feel like we are competing with each other.
Yes.
Of which is not necessarily that, because you find like everybody is doing his own kind of thing, and you can never like wear the same brand every day. So that's been really important to me. Yeah.
Now, to finally, Mr. Oguk,
Yes,
what
sir.
have you learned?
I think for me, it's been an amazing course, first of all. You learn a lot. But 3 things have stood out for me. So the first thing is just efficiency in terms of, as a creative, you really focus on your creativity, but sometimes you don't really see the small details like my colleagues have mentioned about costing and about knowing your brand and about pricing right. So if you miss any of that, then I think your business usually is not as efficient. The second thing is impact. So again, like you create and do all these things, but then you're doing it for who or why, so that is also is also something that was important that I learned. And then lastly, just collaboration. And not only collaborating with other creatives, but like you need to have a team within your business. You cannot do everything as a creative. You need to have someone who's good at finances and all those things. You would call it collaboration. If you have some money, you'd call it hiring.
Yes.
But it's just important to involve people in your business apart from the creative side. Yeah.
All right, I like that. I want to step aside from what the British Council have been doing. Of course, we're going to be learning a lot more. Like I've said, tomorrow there's a Creative DNA 2.0 event. It's a networking event. It's literally going to be at Kofisi 9, which is located at 9 West Building, the 7th floor of Westland. So make sure you actually, if you want to attend this event, you write an email to RSVP at creativedna@gmail.com. So I'll say that again, creativedna@gmail.com. gmail.com, or you can even jump in onto our Twitter handle at Trace East Africa, because we're going to be putting that, because we want to have a conversation with some creative minds as well. Now, I want to have a conversation with you guys who are literally in the fashion industry, right? I've been lucky enough to interact with your brands, right? There's a time I was in Mombasa, literally by English Point Marina. I was very excited to see your brand, and like I was telling Ian, when I went to, what's the name of this place again? Kuona. Kuona. I've seen the Kenya Airways brand, and your jacket, my brother, that looks so dope. But that is besides me as a consumer, right? Now, you guys who are in the industry, how would you say, from when you got in up until now, how has the industry changed? Has there been a turnaround in terms of people saying, yo, this is not FUBU, this is Kenya Airways, right? I want to buy this. From all individual perspectives. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. Just tell me.
I can say that the industry has really much changed there.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like I actually know that I've seen the way that people like nowadays accommodate that kind of creativity is so different from the times you will like walk to Moi Avenue, strictly to get some kicks, So it's been quite a journey.
Yes.
But I feel like right now the consumer is more aware because of all the social media, the TikTok and everything. So everybody wants to stand out. And since we have an environmental agenda, I feel like people are very conscious about it. So I feel like we are slowly getting there. We'll get there for sure.
Okay. Yeah. What about you?
So I think I've seen a lot of change. I've been designing for 10 years.
Yes.
So from when I started to now, there's been a big change. What I like is, like he said, there's more consumers actually accepting made in Kenya.
Yes.
There's more distributors actually even accepting that we can put our products in their places and that kind of thing. So there's a huge positive shift, and I know it's going to take time, and I know we have challenges like the Mtumba factor. There's a lot of things going on, our economy, our spending power.
Yes.
There's a lot, but I think, it's a challenge, but I think things are moving the right way, and having things like the creative DNA and like having creatives seated on one table to discuss solutions is a good start.
Definitely. Mr. Ian, for you, what's your experience been like?
For my experience, as we all remember, they were always like traditional wear. And then everything started to change because fashion always changes.
Yes, ever evolving.
Yeah, so eventually people started to accept the diversity in the fashion industry, different cultures and all that. So, for example, you find someone taking an aspect of traditional wear and bringing it into a modern, more modern aspect to cater for the modern client.
Yes.
And the thing also, like my colleague Orina mentioned about social media, people have accepted it because of they see, and they also the ease to buy from your home because of social media and all the online platforms. Because back then, as I started, it wasn't that easy because I usually had to talk one-on-one with the clients or get a referral or all that. These days, they're pop-ups.
The pop-ups, I see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. And guys are even hollering at you to be like, yo, I want that jacket, which I want that jacket. But let me ask you guys this. From now, like a government perspective, I've seen a couple of years ago, Uhuru Kenyatta said that government officials on Friday needed to wear made in Kenya and all of that. Has that that initiative by the president, has that trickled down to you guys as fashion creatives? We're still far away from it.
I think it's a good initiative, but the problem is the normal person really does not trust the government. So it should come from designers going up, from my perspective. Like if we have the initiative and we hold it and you're like, okay, guys, this is what we are doing every Friday. It's Fashion Fridays, as he called it. Then the consumer would pick it up a bit more than because the president said. Because fashion is you have to like it, first of all. You have to like the brand. Just because you can't really tell someone how to dress as an authoritative thing. It needs to be like, okay, You
I
know,
like this.
I like this brand. I like these people. I like where they're going. So I think that's why it hasn't picked up as much. But if they involved, because the problem usually with government is they sit in a boardroom and then they decide something, and then but if they involve like actually guys doing it, then we could probably give solutions or ideas on how it could work.
Okay, so if we said no to Mtumba and we catered kabisa, yani zile bills zimekuja, we said no. Do you feel we're at a point where the Kenyan fashion industry would actually accommodate the demand to clothes, say, let's not even go for the whole population because we all have clothes, right? Say about 10 million Kenyans. Would we be able to accommodate? Because this conversation is greater than it is, right? And there's always been the push. People saying, let's ban Mtumba, let's wear our own clothes from here. But would we, the fashion industry, with you guys as the fashion creatives, the directors, be able to literally clothe Kenyans?
Well, it's that's a beef question. Because you see, for us as designers,
yes,
we also have our own kind of budgets. You know, our own kind of pricing. We all have something we're doing towards our brand, and we have our targets. So I can say banning Mtumba for sure is not 100% going to a workable solution, because I feel like not every person in Kenya can afford to buy
brand new clothes
for 4Gs, 5Gs. I feel like it should be regulated to the things that are coming in. Let's say those kinds of bales that are coming from China, those are the ones that's supposed to be regulated because they are cheap. You know, they are. I mean,
knockoffs.
It's just knockoffs as a matter of fact, poor quality. You know, and that's encouraging.
You find a man wearing Goofy.
Yeah, yes, and that you see, it's encouraging. It's more or less like encouraging fast fashion. Yes. It's more on regulating the fast fashion that is coming in and regulating now the Mtumba.
All of that.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Now, we've spoken about all of that gava stuff, nini. Lakini hapa kwa ground, mtaani, are guys messing with you guys? Because like literally today morning on this station at 5:40 or 5:30, I can actually tell you guys. Let me remember this. There was a song that was actually playing, and I said I'd actually ask my music director. It was a very good song. It was one of these Gengeton guys who was actually saying, who was actually talking about, I think it's actually Bruce. No. I'll get the song, right? But it was someone who was talking about a label. He's got a guy who goes to this particular place, hooks him up with all of that. Have you guys been getting deals from like the likes of Wakadinali or Nawapigia simu wanasema niaje? I want this item like that. Because that's a huge endorsement, right? Coming from, like, say, if Lil Minor told you, listen, I want a jacket. Have you guys been getting those kind of endorsements?
Yes.
Yeah. We have.
Okay, name them. Let's claim them, because I want us to celebrate the fact that we're all in this creative industry, right?
Yeah.
Where music borrows from fashion borrows from music, right? And if they haven't, I want to be able to tell them whenever they're here, be like, oh, you need to buy there. You need to call Ian. He's got a pretty dope jacket, like that. So tell me, who are some of the guys?
For me, the first person I think I was able to dress was Rantam.
Really?
For Coke Studio.
Okay, that's
but
dope.
it wasn't me exactly, but through a stylist called Wambuimbu there. I think she also works with the Creative DNA.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's the one who bought the jacket. We were at a pop-up at Alchemist.
Yes.
Yeah, she bought it from us. And then there was also Manasseh.
Yes,
we've done something for a photo shoot with him. We collaborated with Orina on a jacket, and it ended up on Fenagitu.
Oh, shout out to Fena.
Yeah.
She rocks a lot of African designers, by the way.
Yeah. And obviously she looks phenomenal.
Nice, man.
I had to. Apart from that, maybe Gazette was articles. Yeah, there have been
Papers.
Gazette articles. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aya, wewe je? Mr. Kenya Airways.
Hey. So many, but the artist like I started with was we did a collaboration with Adele Onyango.
Hey,
So
Adele.
a capsule collection.
Okay.
I've done with Shafi. I've done with Fena. I've done with MDQ. I've done with so many.
So many. Mpaka wanakupotea.
There's sorry for anyway.
What about you, Mr. We can see your shop in Mombasa.
Well, I have done so many, I think, but I remember starting with Octopizo because I'm from Kibera and he was my boy. We were literally, just vibing and so he was the first artist, and then MDQ for Blankets and Wine.
Yes.
I've done Yemi Alade when she came to Kenya. I've done Jason Derulo, Nameless, Sauti Soul guys for their videos.
Yes.
Fena, who else? Man, Adele Onyango, Joy Kendi. Like there's also, because I think we need to move the culture. So these guys need to come and like the products as well. So
as well.
Yeah. And through stylists, like you said, like
Okay.
you need to position your brand that way. But I've really, it's been a lot of guys.
All right, now if you're just locking in, like I said, I've got 3 amazing fashion designers with me. I'm talking about Mr. Boguk, who you could actually hear just talk. He's the man behind the Boguk fashion line. You see it everywhere. A lot of people tagging him. And of course, I've got 1V1 Garments. I've got Ian Kaseka. No, but Kaseka said we've got to say his name with bass. Kaseka Ian. Yeah. And of course, Mr. Junior Orina from the Nairobi Apparel District. Now, this is a surprise to you guys, right? But over here at Trace, we're all about, creative solutions and, of course, empowering the youth and anybody who's an entrepreneur, right? And you guys are deep in it. Now, I am going to volunteer, right? I'm going to give you guys an assignment. You have to create something for me, you create something for me, and you create something for me. And I am going to buy them. But I'm going to give you guys the creative authority to look at what I'm about and then create something and I will buy. Right? So for you guys, just tell me however long it's going to take, but that's how I feel like we should promote the industry, not just talk about it, but also buy, because it's all about making sure that we empower everybody who's in this creative sector. So does that sound like a good assignment?
We're game, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah? Okay. Timelines, mnaona tucheze na timelines aina gani? Because you guys are busy guys, highly sought after.
Amen to that. But I think 2 weeks for me.
2 weeks.
Would be,
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sawa. Now, I just want you guys to hit me with something different. Kwanzaa, we're about to post up a picture. That jacket that you're wearing, it's the mad fire. Now, guys, thank you guys for coming through. And of course, once again, make sure that you go onto our Trace East Africa page. It's all about RSVPing for this Creative DNA 2.0. It's going to be a networking event brought to you by the British Council. Of course, the British Council is the reason why these 3 creatives are actually in the building. They'll be in the place tomorrow. So if you're looking to get them, get your measurements. By the way, how many of you guys carried your tape measures?
Always in the bag.
Always in the bag.
Your straps.
Thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely. And of course, make sure, listen, I can't let you guys go without sharing your Instagram handles. And watu wajue penye unaweza wapata. So go.
Mine is at Boguk Official. So that's BOGUK_official on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Yes.
Mine is at Nairobi Apparel District.
Yes.
And also at Studio 18 Kenya.
Studio 18 Kenya.
Yeah.
And mine is at 1V1 Garments.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.